What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Midday Market Recap. My name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos, where we talk about everything over-the-counter penny stocks. Now, if you're new to this channel, I go live every day around this time to just kind of recap what's going on throughout the day, what stocks are out there that are worth taking a look at, and it's a little bit of a slow start to the week. I'm hoping that it picks up a little bit more. We saw such a really good week last week, and I'm hoping that it carries on to this week. So a couple of ones that were on Stock Watch Sunday last night, if you didn't catch that live stream, starting to perk up today. There's a couple of new ones, though, as well, so we'll take a look at those. But first things first, hopefully I earn your subscription by the end of this video, and please stay tuned for the question of the day by the end. If you have any questions about what we're watching and maybe some stocks that you would like me to take a look at briefly, I can certainly do that as well. So let me welcome some folks in here. Jason, Magnum, Daniel, what's going on, Chandler? Jenny, a good afternoon to you as well. So if you guys are wondering where these folks are coming from, they're not just coming from our YouTube community. I have a awesome community of over 4,000 members from around the globe, and they're in there for absolutely free. Doesn't cost them anything to hang out in there, and it's called We Trade HQ. We Trade HQ is a community of like-minded individuals, not just within the penny stock space, but within any area of the market. So me and my partner Jake designed We Trade HQ not just to be a community, but also like a resource, a platform for you to learn how to be a better trader. So it's at WeTradeHQ.com. If you're interested in checking that out, it's absolutely free to do so. The links are down in the description, so go check it out. So what's moving today? A couple of things. DEVM came out with some really great news. We'll take a look at that. A few other stocks that I think might have some pretty decent potential moving into the end of the day, and maybe even into tomorrow. So keep those questions rolling. And yeah, what's going on, Yola and Amy? Good to see you guys as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's moving throughout the day today. So DEVM, as I previously mentioned, this was a reverse merger play that occurred back in early February of this year. Had a monster move if we go to the daily chart from 0.1 all the way up to 26 cents. A monster move there when the reverse merger took place. But that's not the end of the story here. When the reverse merger happened, it was LCTZ, and now they have since then done a ticker symbol change. This all kind of happened relatively quickly. Ticker symbol change, company name change to DEVMR, and if you do any more Googling on DEVMR, they are a multi-million-dollar, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're developing companies, so like they build high-rise condominiums, other forms of real estate worth tons and tons of money, and it looks as if they are headed to NASDAQ. And they came out with news today indicating that they are involved now or in agreement with Bosted Securities, and they basically take companies and help them get to uplisting to NASDAQ. The very few times you see Bosted down in here within the OTC, most notably, or most recently, I wouldn't say most recently probably, I'm sure they've done more since then, but BYOC was another one of those ones where probably the most notable one as of recently in the OTC that Bosted's been a part of. But DEVM looks like that they are headed in the right direction to be uplisted to NASDAQ, and obviously that is a very positive catalyst. So we've seen some pretty decent moves from DEVM. Now, given the fact that they are worth so much, and the price is only down here in the 15-cent range, I have to believe that they're going to be on to bigger and better things. If you look at the security details here, floats at 15 million, which is nothing. Market cap's at 5.5 million. So really just, it's not going to take much to blow the top off of this, if I'm honest. And so really just kind of looking at DEVM, and if they do in fact uplist to NASDAQ, this is going to be a monster mover for 2019. If you're looking for a company to build your account around and for a long-term position, this would be one that I would definitely think that's worth taking a look at. Given that it's a perfect setup, share structure wise, they got so much going on, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and it almost would seem like a no-brainer down here, especially now that Bosted's involved. Lots of people getting excited with that, so we'll just kind of see where it goes from here. But DEVM definitely looks like it's going to be one to watch out for. Another one that moved today very strongly was NCAP, and they came out with news over the weekend basically talking about their CBD program and that they've kicked off an affiliate program for seniors. Really, and you can do some more research on the CBD space, but honestly, senior citizens are the ones that are using more CBD products than anybody else. You know, they're trying to come off with pain medicine and stuff like that, so it makes sense. And it looks like the NCAP is having an affiliate program for senior citizens. We'll see where this goes. Just take note that they are SEC delinquent, so you know, obviously we haven't seen much come of those that are SEC delinquent really as far as suspensions are concerned, but it definitely is something to take note of just to make sure that you're aware. Also, that they had some dilution going on. It looks like that they kind of backed off of that a little bit. If they continue to keep that off, if we go and look at my equity feed scanner here, check out level 2, you do see VNDM here hanging out at 0052. So, you know, if they can stay back here and take some pressure off of dilution here, hopefully this thing will get moving. If it continues to move, that kind of remains to be seen. But if they have more positive catalysts coming out and they can keep that dilution at bay, could be a nice little mover. Obviously, it's already moved 92% just based off of today and the news that took place last week or over the weekend. But you know, given that there isn't much else moving out there, this is definitely one of the brighter spots in the OTC today. The last one that I kind of wanted to go over, and there's a couple other ones, so just stick around that I'm sure a lot of folks wanted me to take a look at. But BYST, this is the one that was on Stockwatch Sunday. It's been a really great stock so far. Looks like it's starting to break a key resistance point here and could potentially go back into double digits at 10 cents. If we look at it on equity feed right now, VYST is trading at 8.59. We've seen highs of 9 cents already. High of the day here was at 0.91. So if it can continue to bust through that 9 cent range, I would say that 10 cents is definitely well on its way. Great move for a lot of us folks within my morning mentorship group and within just the WeTrade HQ community as a whole. For those 4.5 cent entries and even below that, I know people that have been sitting in this thing since January where it was trading at a penny and even below that area as well. Really strong stock in VYST. And we talked about why we expected this to move based off of the findings that we found yesterday. You know, there's two investors that are invested $200,000 in the VYST with a par value of their shares at 15 cents. Now, if anybody's in the business of investing, you guys know that now that's trading basically around half of that. That they're expecting this to go beyond 15 cents. So they buy those shares at a premium with the expectation that the value of that price per share is going to go beyond that, so that the investors can essentially make money. That's the whole point of investing like that in that sense. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But everything else looks good on VYST. Just it's kind of business as usual, if I do say so. I mean, really, look at the chart here. It doesn't take much volume to get this thing moving quite nicely. You can see the volume here. Where it was down at a much lower price, how much it took to get it moving. And now, if we saw that kind of volume here, this thing could really kind of go off. We saw that they took care of some convertible debt, so that's probably why this is moving so much easier. So all we're waiting on now is a nice little positive catalyst that could really potentially send this thing. So it's good patience play, good one, again, to build your account around if you're looking for a longer term play. Always like VYST, and it's good to see that that's moving today, especially since we watched it on, especially since we talked about it yesterday during Stockwatch Sunday. One other thing that I wanted to take note of, yes, all convertibles paid. Thanks, Stone Cold. I read something that sounded positive about RBNW involving a reverse takeover with a cannabis company. So let's see here. Yeah, I saw that as well, but the thing is with RBNW, so they had a lot of things going on with RBNW. I don't know if it's going to be a good long-term play. We can take a look at it. They went freaking bonkers last week because of that reverse merger news, and I'm not sure that it's going to be safe to get into at this point, given that you know, the catalyst has basically already occurred. So it's going to be a tough one, to be honest with you. You can see how it already went up to 04 came all the way back down to 0.009, so that's sub penny. The reason being is because of this. So we look at the security details, you can't see anything as far as share structure is concerned. You really have no idea what you're looking at. So there's a lot of question marks with RBNW. Still, could the potential be there for you to make a lot of money? I'm not going to be the one that tells you not to buy it, because as soon as I do, it's going to go off, right? As soon as I tell you not to buy it, it'll go off. It'll go to 20 cents or something like that. Happens all the time when I'm like, stay away from that, and then something happens. All I'm going to say is just be cautious. Make sure you're doing all of your good due diligence, and don't just go off of hearsay. Don't go off of what somebody else is telling you. Definitely go in and dive in and do some real homework on this one, because it could be one that may go off based off of how this is moving. This looks like the share structure is microscopic, and so, which means that it would take very little buying power to get this moving. Having said that, there's a double-edged sword with that, is that we saw it go from 4 cents back to sub penny basically in a day, in 2 days time, and so it's dangerous, right? So the volatility that you can experience with something like RBNW could come back and bite you in the butt. So this is one that me personally I would stay away from, but I'm telling you that if you're looking to see value in this, and if you do, that's fine, but definitely do some more homework on this than just kind of like on what you might be hearing. So yeah, let's see here. BMMJ. Wanted to kind of go over BMMJ real quick, as we did talk about this last night in Stock Watch Sunday. Looking really good. Had a little bit of a sell-off towards the beginning of the day, right at market open. It looked like it was going to gap up. Actually had a gap up of around $1.20. Came back down to about $1.10, and then settled around $117, and looking really good. Still looking very strong. Holding this position, holding this area right here. Good area of consolidation for BMMJ. And seeing a lot of good success with this from our entries down in the 70-cent range. What's left for BMMJ? I still think it's undervalued, and I still think that we could see a nice potential move, in the short term and long term for BMMJ, especially if a bigger company comes along to acquire them. Something along those lines could potentially happen. They have dispensaries now that they announced in Arkansas, Nevada, California, a bunch of other places. So lots of value to be had with BMMJ. We'll kind of see where that goes from here. So that is it, guys. And so the question of the day. Now, I know that we always like to talk about our major wins and stuff like that, but if you guys saw my video or our podcast that we've been putting out on Saturdays, me and Christian, we talked about failure a lot. And so the question of the day for me is going to be, how have you handled failure when trading stocks? What was your biggest loss, and what did you take away from that, and how did you learn from that in order to be able to apply it to your future trades so that you wouldn't make those mistakes again? I think a lot of people could benefit from some of your answers, so be sure to leave those in the comments below after I sign off here. And that is it for me, guys. So if you're interested, you want to see some more content such as this, and you really want to know a little bit more about the crazy volatility that is the OTC, please subscribe and give this a thumbs up. I certainly would appreciate it. And go check out our free community over at WeTradeHQ.com. We have a Discord group of over 4,000 members that are learning and growing and celebrating each other's success. It's not just geared towards penny stocks. They trade big board stocks, ETFs, options, Forex, futures, even cryptocurrencies. No matter what you're trading in the market, WeTradeHQ is the place for you. Guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much. As always, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. Have a good one.